Hello. May God bless all of you, servants of God, in this week that has just begun, and may the will of our God prosper through the work of our hands and through the work that we do for Him. We are living now in this month, the month of the glory of the latter temple. The glory of the latter temple will be greater than the glory of the first temple. God used the prophets to say that. And the latter temple is you, it's me, it's all of those whom the Holy Spirit has come upon and will come upon. We are the latter temple. And the greatest glory of God in us, or the greater glory that God expects from us, is not that one that, for example, that we express when we are praying, when we are worshiping Him, because this one is very easy to present to Him. Maybe you already realize that nowadays on the internet we see a lot of people and videos speaking about adoration and worshiping God, praising God. So this is like a trend nowadays. There is a trend about this nowadays. But the main glory of God in us, the pleasure that God has in us, is when He sees us walking in truth. When you walk in truth, this is what makes God to be pleased. For example, what did God say to the devil regarding Job? What did He say to him? He came to the devil and said, "Have you seen my servant Job? Have you seen how he worships me, how he praises me? Have you heard the marvelous songs that he sings to me?" No, God didn't say that. But God spoke about His righteousness. He was upright, faithful, who would shun evil. Look the pleasure of God. And this is God Himself speaking. This is God Himself expressing Himself and mentioning Job and saying to the devil, telling the devil, "Have you seen that he shuns evil?" That means he was a righteous man, he was truthful, he was faithful. And this is what called the attention of God in him. So it's pointless if we sing praises and worship God, if and even if we do everything that we do in the work of God, if we are not truthful. If you have been listening to the messages from Bishop Macedo, I believe you have noticed that from time to time the Holy Spirit gives him a word, an inspiration, and then he starts to speak a lot about that subject. In the past days, in the past few days, he has been speaking a lot. He has been speaking about the subject truth. We have to be truthful. We must be of the truth. This is what God has been showing to us. This is what God has highlighted and called our attention to. I have my Bible open here in the book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 22. It says like this: "Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but those who deal truthfully are His delight." That means God was pleased. His delight was in the conduct of Job. And it says there that the lying lips are an abomination to the Lord. The lying lips are an abomination to the Lord. And why? It's not without a reason that God sees lies as an abomination. In truth, the sin that removed humankind from the presence of God was lie. Was a lie. Everything started when the serpent lied to Eve and deceived her. The devil used the serpent to speak to Eve and say, "No, if you eat of the fruit, of course you're not going to die. No, you're not going to die." The serpent lied and deceived Eve. Eve allowed herself to be deceived by that. disobeyed God. Also, she suggested Adam to also eat, so he obeyed, and he also disobeyed God. And when God questioned them, both of them lied. Both of them did not take responsibility for their mistake. And this is the worst point of all. Why is it an abomination to God? Because God already knew everything. So when God went there to Adam and asked, Adam, where are you? Didn't God know where he was? Yes, he knew. But he was there giving him an opportunity for him to come forth and say, look, God, I'm hiding myself because I sinned against you and I made a mistake. But no. When he said that he had sinned, that's why he was hiding. God asked him, why did you do that? He blamed Eve, and then Eve blamed the serpent. So that means no one was sincere, honest, truthful. No one took responsibility for their mistakes. So if there is something that God expects from us, servants of God, his servants, assistants, is sincerity, truth. He expects us to be truthful. You who are an assistant, do you want to glorify God, to honor God? Then give to God this delight. Give God this delight. Be a person who is truthful. Do not lie, not even when making a joke, because lies are an abomination to God, because this is something that is an abomination to God, then we cannot accept these, not even when we are joking, because this is an abomination. All of us who are doing the work of God, we must be truthful. We must be always sincere. Let's meditate on this. Pray about this. This is the greatest glory that God expects from us. The glory of God is to know that his children are walking in truth. Let's prepare ourselves for the 14th of September, when we're going to have the Saturday of the glory of the latter temple. Is going to be at 3 p.m. in Finsbury Park, with transmission for all the outside London branches. May God bless you all. You may continue now with your local pastor.